We're on the list there. I'm on the list.
Yeah, but you don't come up like you're on.
Really?
Yeah. You're on the list. But
Daryl, Brad, Bill, John, Zeno.
But you don't have the like voice thing here.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't know.
I'm on the tablet there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just what we have so far. And Sean Bushy just got in.
So, do they see that screen? They can break it down, yeah. There's a little tab you click on.
Yep. Another person just signed in. Daryl.
That'd be good for when you're working from home, Gene.
Yeah.
You will.
Right from the bathroom.
Right.
It comes with a go-to meeting too, so
Yep.
you can use it as well.
28. So anyone out there can click on their camera and we can see them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get people more active. I talked to Brad yesterday, right? Some stuff.
Poison Ivy today. Speaking next.
Because I just,
Nobody? Mike Longley. I won that, you know.
Oh, did you?
Yep. For Cabela's, I might have kept. That's fine.
funny how the guy checking the phone wasn't seeing on the service. That's it.
6:29.
6:30.
6:30. All right, we're ready to go. 6:30. We're raring to go. Okay. First item is the code of conduct item for the week, and that's to speak and act supportively as ECI, as a company, and our fellow employees, and also, you know, it goes along to right down the chain to our subs and vendors and everything. So we keep in mind that speak respectful of everybody that we deal with. If you have to say something that's unpleasant and it has to be said, say it behind closed doors, right? Okay, let me see if I can slide this up. But actually, first, why don't we say that we're on the meeting to go, and that's why we have a screen, just like if you were viewing this at home, you would have that little monitor that shows a live shot, and it shows the screen. Actually, right there, you can see the screen, and there's the live video. And if I hit camera, we would have a screen here of a view from my camera. So you could actually interact with this if you wanted to. And let me just show you that we can see that there's several people logged on. We got John Zeno. Actually, the list looks like it's collapsed there a bit. So we got Brad at Rygate, Daryl's out there, John Zeno, Joe Prouse, my tablet, and Megan and Sean Bushy. So they're all out there watching, so it's pretty cool. And they can also click on this and get a status on anything, and I think you can play your camera from there if you wanted to interact that way. So I'm going to collapse it back hopefully without shutting them off. Okay, let's see if I can advance that. Okay. Oops. So we're going to talk in a minute about poison ivy. See if I can get this to slide down. There we go. Corporate announcements, we have 3 new employees, Brendan Stringer, Michael Bishop, and Dalton Slayton. Any of you guys here? Okay, there's Brendan in the back. And your name? Dalton. Dalton, okay. Okay. I apologize if I had some of your emails. I don't know if I got all of them. I forgot to install it on Constant Contact last night, so unfortunately you didn't get the email. But I'll get you on there for the next time. And anyone who doesn't hasn't provided me with an email, make sure you do. Because as you see below, we gave away a Best Buy gift certificate. So it pays to watch. So then we also have some returning summer employees, Cameron and Ethan. Either of you guys here? And which one are you? Ethan, okay. Well, welcome back. Okay. And we have a birthday boy here. Happy birthday to Scott Pigeon, 52 years. This is, isn't this a great picture? There's Alan, there's myself, and there's Scotty. Isn't that great? Adorable. That was
He was all bundled up back then?
2 years ago. Yeah. He was all bundled up. The story is, he was supposed to be a girl. Mom knitted him a pink blanket. Back then, you didn't know those sort of things until it happens, you know. So, okay, the $100 gift certificate. I took the fourth responder. That was Mike Twombly. Is Mike here yet?
Right? Just got it out early.
Okay, headed out early. So this was actually, we went to an open house last week at CRW, and they enter everybody into a drawing, and I got this card, so I said, well, I'd like to pass it on. I thought it was a pretty cool thing, and what I try to do is put these kind of things occasionally in the email so that everybody's reading the email. And you guys do, I know, because I got quite a few responses. So technical tips, we're still discussing EPSC, or erosion prevention and sediment control. There's still a couple more items to cover. And this week we've got the construction of the permanent controls. And a lot of our job sites, if it's a site job, even highway jobs and things nowadays have stormwater detention systems built into the plans and the design for the project. A permanent system. And it usually makes sense to build that system before we really start major earthwork. That way we can use that for the collecting the stormwater on the site, treating it, because what will happen that, you know, the sediments settle out in that pond or ponds, and then of course we'd have to be cleaning it out before we turn it over to the owner for permanent use. But it has a lot of value in that way, because you're essentially providing all the erosion prevention, sediment control, or not all of them, but you're making sure any discharge going after the site has been treated. So they got some requirements. So even, and this would be more of a site job, if it is more than 1 acre, there will be apparently a pond in there. So if there's less than 1 acre, it's likely not to be a pond. Oh, quite frequently we would make a little discharge pond for, say, dewatering, and have, you know, some hay bales and you know, filter fabric, and let things settle out, just the same as a detention pond. And they have some pictures here. This is obvious. These are both obviously well-used systems, not a new system that's just been turned on for a project. For a project, we're highlighting the Stowe project, routes 100 and 108 intersection, right in the middle of Stowe, and we were contracted by the town to mill and pave a section of that intersection, and we milled out 2 inches and paved back 2 inches. And there's the milling operation with the big mill, some traffic control going on there, and then laying down some asphalt yesterday. So real quick in and out job. I'm sure the town of Stowe appreciated us being in and out quickly. So that's what I got. The only thing I have, the last week's message at the bottom of the email. If you guys need to get on to your meeting to go, you can go to these instructions right here. And I have this meeting listed. I got to remember to change that, or just to put in some X's. But all the instructions on how to install it on your device or your computer or whatever is all here. And then at the top, what I did at the top of the email is I have a go-to training access number. So you can click and save that and paste it into the meeting to go. Once you've loaded it into your device, it's really pretty easy to get right to meeting to go. So that's what I got. We're gonna talk about poison ivy,
Poisonous plants.
poisonous plants. So take that towards the mic. What's that, Jack? Oh, yes. I'd like to recognize Harvey. Last week it was about having a positive image, and I asked Harvey to get a haircut. Look at that haircut. Nice job, Harvey.
Hang tight. Good morning. Can we get everybody in here? We got a couple seats. Let's get everybody off the hallway if we can. I see next to Bang. I see next to AJ. I see next to Harvey.
Come on in. Come on in.
I see next to Paul right here, Brendan. You want to scoot in? Appreciate it, guys. Don't be shy. Before we get into poisonous plants, I just want to, we did quick little research. I thought what Jesse Littlefield talked about last week was that Sawyer spray that you can, spray in your clothes before you wash. I found the product. You can find it at Dick's. You can find it online. I'll pass it out if anyone else has interest with it. Just good for, hunting and, finding a lot of ticks. I found one on me last night. Again, they're just out there. So I just want to hence the awareness and again, another protection for you out there. So poisonous plants, definitely this time of year, we're getting into this stuff. So what's it look like? Okay, leaves of 3, let it be. I got a poison ivy here that I laminated, the coloration's sun drawn out. What you have here is, very kind of shiny looking. This is type of like mid-season poison ivy. It looks like it's a big bundle. During the spring, you can kind of see it has this reddish tint here. And then summer's kind of more looks like what's being passed around in the fall. It starts turning a little bit of a reddish, has a reddish sheen on it. So it's a very seasonal plant, something that we got to keep an eye on, especially new jobs. As jobs are starting up, we're doing survey, things like that. We do have a kind of a pre-wipe you can put on your skin before you go into the woods. It's just kind of like a wet rag type of thing. You just throw it on your skin before you go in. It's supposed to give you kind of a protective barrier. Poison ivy is one of those things that you look at it, you start reacting, or some people can play in it all day long and not affect them. But again, it changes with your immune system and how your body reacts to it. We also have poison sumac in the area. Again, this is the awareness here. It's very symmetric looking plant. Both leaves are very symmetric, and then usually there's one at the end that kind of is straight out. This stuff, again, very nasty, very skin irritated, especially, you're in there with machinery. This stuff can be airborne. You also get into your respiratory issues, so make sure we identify it and try to kill it as best we can wearing, Tyvek suits and with machinery and stay away from it. So we also have some poison oak. Poison oak's very rigid looking plant, but again, it's the same as poison ivy. Leaves of 3, let it be. So again, identify it. We do have a biological hazard on the tailboard, so it's just hopefully a good reminder for you guys to look for this type of stuff as jobs are starting, going in, putting out silk fence and the erosion control stuff. Being able to identify our poison ivy out there in the field. And this is the newest one that's getting a lot of people is wild parsnip. It's really growing fast in Vermont. You can see it on the side of the roads. What this does is it gets on your skin, and it's like a magnifying lens. It kind of eliminates the oils of your skin that prevents kind of UV, sunblock and stuff like that. It's the best protection for sunlight and everything. But this is like you get a little bit of this oil on you. It doesn't react to anything, but what it does when the sunlight, like a nice sunny day like today, it will give you potentially, 3rd degree burn, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd degree burns. All depends on your exposure of light, and you get really bad burns because of wild parsnip. So when you're ever around it, you want to make sure you're wearing long sleeves. Same thing with poison ivy and all the other poisonous plants. Wear long sleeve and pants. If you find it and you're trying to get rid of it, it's best to do it kind of not during the sunlight hours because then you won't really get that exposure. So on cloudy days, early in the morning, late in the evening, And then again, it's just good personal hygiene. Wash yourself off after you get out of those areas, and then you won't ever see any bad burns from wild parsnip. It looks just like goldenrod. If everyone knows what goldenrod looks like, it looks very similar. So you got to be careful while getting out and eliminating these plants from either your job sites, even at your house working on the weekends, because you can get some pretty severely burns and actually scarring from it. So it could actually affect your overall health well-being. Ken?
There's a lot along highways and sides.
Yes, you see a lot during with highways and roads now. So we have a lot of projects along roadways and right-of-ways of a lot of Vermont highways and Valpo right-of-ways and stuff like that, where having the awareness is the most important part, and then coming up with a good solution to correct the issue. So no one has bad rashes where they need to, or bad poison ivy where they need some steroid cream and have to go to Champlain Medical and stuff like that. That's what we're trying to eliminate with just this overall awareness of poisonous plants. Any questions?
Is that a native to Vermont, or is that from out west?
Well, it came in from outside, yeah, and it's growing and it's overtaken a lot of areas.
If you're burning any of this poison ivy and any of the other poisonous plants, the smoke is very toxic.
Exactly. So you got to be careful that way. Burning is not the best option when it comes to poisonous plants. So being able to identify and say, hey, let's not burn that, Well, that's all I have. Thanks for your time.
I got one.
Go, Ken. Yep.
I know for a fact that if you use jewelweed for poison ivy, it actually helps.
Yep.
If you rub jewelweed on the poison ivy, it helps relieve the actual poison. So I think it's like an orange flower.
Right.
It usually grows around poison ivy.
Yeah, that's the only downside. You have to go through the poison ivy. But it does work. I like it. I've used it before.
Then the roots, yes. It's not just the leaves too. It's the roots, the whole part of the plant, the whole growth process of the whole entire plant. And it's just the oils of it. It's not just the leaves. It's a good point.
So it can affect you from the time it opens up until the time it dies out.
Yes.
Could be a
It's
dead
just
leaf.
bad from the time it starts.
Yep. It's the whole thing. It's the whole molecule thing of the plant.
Okay, good. Rodney.
So we can get a bunch of screens up and put these other guys around the room when they want.
That's what I was thinking.
But you can at least see